We now start with questions, Prime Minister.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak on Wednesday faced scrutiny over his controversial Rwanda scheme that would allow the government to send asylum seekers who arrive without permission in Britain to Rwanda.
We have managed now, because of our actions, to reduce the number of people coming here by over a third last year, remove over 20,000 people from this country back to their home countries, carried out 70% more illegal enforcement raids, arrested hundreds of people, closed down thousands of bank accounts, and processed over 100,000 cases, the biggest number in over 20 years, Mr. Speaker.
Last November, the UK Supreme Court declared the policy unlawful, and Sunak hopes the new legislation, when passed, will override legal concerns and fulfill his pledge to stop people arriving across the channel in small boats.
Are we going a little bit more shy?
Only this government could waste hundreds of millions of pounds on a removals policy that doesn't remove anyone. Only this government could claim that it's going to get flights off the ground only to discover they couldn't find a plane. Only this government could sign a removal deal with Rwanda only to end up taking people from Rwanda to here.
As I said, we have worked through a record number of cases and returned a record number of people back to where they've come. All of that is a plan that is working, and we can see that it's working because the numbers of people coming to this country are down by over a third, Mr. Speaker. It is important that we stop the boats because illegal migration is simply not fair, Mr. Speaker. It's not right that some people jump the queue, that they take away our resources to help those who are the most compassionate, that need our most help, and, by the way, Mr. Speaker, are exploited by gangs, and many of them lose their lives making these dangerous crossings.
Sunak is facing a major parliamentary showdown with many of his own lawmakers threatening to rebel after they lost an initial bid to toughen his proposed law.
Safety of Rwanda Asylum and Immigration Bill.
The current bill doesn't work. And the test of whether it works is not can we get a few symbolic flights off in the months ahead with a small number of illegal migrants on them. The test is can we create the kind of sustainable deterrent that we set out to achieve. We have to get people out of the country within days, not months. And the operational plan behind this bill foresees that people will take months to be removed from the country. So what will happen is that our detained capacity will be filled, people will then be bailed to hotels, they will then abscond and never be seen again.
We want the bill to succeed. We want it to work, and we want to do what our voters want. But at present, it does not. Clause 2, as it stands, does not work. And that is why I shall put my Amendment 10 to a vote, supported as it is by well over 60 members of Parliament.
The government comfortably defeated attempts to strengthen the bill late on Tuesday that had been backed by almost a fifth of lawmakers from Sunak's Conservative Party in what was the biggest rebellion yet against the British Prime Minister.
The changes needed to eliminate the risk of refoulement may be delivered in the future, but they have not been shown to be in place now. The Home Secretary's appeal is therefore dismissed.
Sunak also spoke about the over 20-year post office scandal that saw hundreds of sub-postmasters wrongfully prosecuted or convicted of false accounting, theft and fraud.
Mr. Speaker, I'm acutely aware of the strength of feeling on this issue and indeed the suffering of all of those impacted by this dreadful scandal. I gave evidence to the inquiry last year, and as I said then, I recognise the suffering that thousands have experienced over decades.
The scandal took place after Fujitsu developed Horizon software incorrectly showed money missing from accounts of post office branches. The British government last week announced plans to introduce new legislation to overturn the wrongful convictions.